From Forsaken to Violence District to Free the Facility, you can't argue with the fact that these types of games have become really popular lately. But why? What makes this genre of games so addicting and popular? Before we get into the video, what is this type of game anyway? Well, they are called asymmetrical horror games. An asymmetrical horror game is a game where there are some type of killer or role that hunts the survivors. There are usually more survivors than killers. Killers often have to win a majority of the survivors to win, while the survivors often have to do some tasks or just survive to a certain point to win. There are often darker and scarier themes, hence why it's called an asymmetrical horror game. And most of them include abilities that the killer and survivors can use to their advantage. Asymmetrical horror games have always been a semi-popular genre in Roblox. Survive the Killer, Piggy, Granny, each of them were decently popular at their respective moments in time. But even at their peak, they weren't exactly dominating the platform. Well, except for Piggy.
Able to get that. Okay, yeah, he's going up. There they go. There they go. So they're gonna go up here. He's gonna run across here any second. Any second. There he goes. Okay, and then he's gonna jump down. He's gonna jump down right here. He's gonna jump down right here. Oh!
But lately, something's changed. It's like developers cracked the code. So what did these people do to make this genre work so suddenly? Here I present to you the 5 itties. One of the strongest reasons asymmetrical horror games keep their communities alive for so long is the sheer amount of replayability they have. You can play them for hours without ever feeling burnt out. The mix of abilities, strategies, maps, and different skill levels means that every match plays out differently. The core premise of asymmetrical horror games are that you'll never play the same match twice, and that unpredictability is exactly why so many players can play these games for hours straight. Another huge factor is the constant tension these games create. No matter how good you get, something unexpected can happen at any time. Maybe the killer does something weird, or a teammate does something unbelievably dumb. That makes every match feel completely different from the last one. Similarity. As I stated in the beginning, most asymmetrical horror games usually share similar themes. That means that if you played one asymmetrical horror game, it is very easy to pick up another one. This means that players can jump from one game to another, turning the genre from a group of kinda similar games to a whole ecosystem basically of games people can switch between very easily. And this means that if someone finds just one of these games and enjoys them, the entire genre thrives. This is why I see a lot of asymmetrical horror game fans usually playing a bunch of these games at once. Simplicity. Asymmetrical horror games are very easy to pick up because the premise is basically just either escape the killer or kill them all. So the game is very easy to get into. But here's the thing, it also has a really high skill cap, which is basically like the perfect combination for a game. Now something that looked so simple on the surface becomes a combination of mind games, learning new characters and strategies. And that's why these games are getting so popular lately. People can play hundreds of hours without ever feeling like they've completely mastered the game. There's always more to do, one more strategy to learn, one more character to use, one more ability to master. You can always do more, and that's what these games have expertise in. Community. Asymmetrical horror games have really strong communities, and that is because every round is like its own story. So as I mentioned earlier, anything can happen at any time, and due to that randomness, people often clip and talk about the rounds with other people, and this sparks engagement within the communities. Something I didn't mention earlier is that asymmetrical horror games usually include some sort of lore. It can be that every single character has lore, like in Forsaken, or that the game premise just has lore. This is also another topic players discuss frequently. They may be trying to interpret what a piece of writing means, or talking about if it was ethical or not. Players love discussing updates. A new survivor killer could flip the meta on its head completely. Players love discussing what happened in the new update, leaks, and what things could be next. There's room for a lot of different types of players. We have the sweats, casuals, the lore fans, and the shippers. The genre literally requires people to talk. Survivors have to talk to coordinate and to survive. And this can form further connections that last a long time. Due to asymmetrical horror games relying so much on cooperation, there aren't that many 8-year-olds playing these games. And the ones that are certainly smart, if I have to say myself. Anyways, more mature audiences usually form bigger groups on platforms like Discord. And the community on YouTube is usually a lot stronger than you'd expect for these games. Competitivity. If you can make your enemy hate you, and they can make you hate them, you've created a perfect loop of competitiveness that never ends. Competitivity is the fire that keeps you coming back. Every match is another chance to outplay the killer, embarrass your teammates, prove you're better, greater, smarter. In the genre of asymmetrical horror games, competitiveness isn't just a feature. It's something that drags you back no matter how far you go. And the moment someone exceeds you, you feel it. You want a rematch. You need the rematch. Hello everyone. This is unfortunately the end to this video. But before you go, I want to say a couple things. First of all, Merry Christmas. I don't know if this video is coming out on the 25th or the 26th, but consider this a late Christmas present. So, as I said, Merry Christmas to those that celebrate it, and hope you'll get to spend these next days with family and friends and just relaxing. I will certainly be doing that, and that's all I really want to say. So I'll see you in the next video, and Merry Christmas.